Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Sarah. I am a fourth year teacher that just recently moved from first to second grade, and today is a day in my life. Today is actually a very busy day in our lives, so we got to school an hour and 20 minutes early. I'm not one to advocate for working outside of your contract hours, but this has just been an insanely busy week. I had an event I went to last night where I didn't get home till almost 10 o'clock. It wasn't school related. So I just skipped the gym this morning, and now I'm taking the time that I would have spent at the gym to come to school because I just didn't get anything done yesterday after school because I had to rush out and go to this event. And tomorrow I have a 2-hour meeting in the morning before school that bleeds into school. So like I need to get prepped for that. And progress reports are due tomorrow. And it's been like the week back. So I got back this week from spring break. So it's just a little bit of a crazier week. So I'm not advocating for getting to school almost an hour and a half early, but today it's a must. So let's go. First thing that looks a little silly but needs to be done is we are hosting an art market next week with 2 other classes in second grade. And I, for the life of me, could not figure out how to tie these bracelets. But then somebody on Instagram sent me a tutorial. So without breaking all of these bracelets, I'm going to try and tie them because it's got that like rubbery, clear string that's just really hard to tie. So I'm just nervous that I'm gonna break them because I already ruined one kid's bracelet. So I'm like, I really don't wanna do that again. So my kids were actually able to do a pretty good knot yesterday. So I had to go and watch the tutorial, but I think I've got it now. I'm just doing like double or triple knots on these. And then somebody suggested using super glue to kind of just like make sure the knot stays. I don't have super glue, but I think I have hot glue, and I'm thinking like a little dab of hot glue might just keep it together. But that looks pretty good. I'm just afraid that like, this one's really small, so I feel like some kids' wrists aren't gonna fit this, and then they're gonna be bummed because they can't buy it. I also can't tell which kids are done. This is my fault because I only bought one bead kit, and I should have gotten more string. This is my first time ever doing an art market, and me and my 2 other teammates are doing it as well. So like we're making things that are different crafts than what they're making. We are making bracelets in here, painted rocks, and little clay figurines. So those are the 3 things that we're selling next week. The kids are really excited about it. I got the idea from my curriculum coach. Progress reports due tomorrow, so I want to try and get those squared away. I have an observation this morning. It's not from like an administrator, it's from the curriculum coach who actually gave me this bracelet making idea. I'm still yet to start my slides for next week, which usually by Thursday I'm starting those. So I'm a little concerned because I just feel so behind this week. I feel like it's really hard to come back from spring break. So I need to go print out the lesson that I'm teaching for my observation today. I'm doing a small group math tier 2 intervention group, and I've never really been observed teaching one of those. So I just want to be fully prepared. So we're gonna go print off that and get all of my manipulatives ready because it's on adding 2-digit numbers. So I need all my base 10 blocks. Printed off my lesson today. It's 2-digit addition with regrouping. Got my breakfast. If y'all haven't watched my vlogs or my other socials before, brekkie overnight oats, so good. And these, the table is shaking a lot, so I apologize. It's because I'm moving around a lot. These Dollar Tree organizers, I don't know if they still have them. I got them so long ago. It has like a big middle compartment and then 2 small sections over here. They are great for organizing base 10 blocks. I'm pretty sure my kids only need 10s and 1s today. So it doesn't look like they're going to need hundreds, but they are gonna need lots of 1s and lots of 10s. So I'm gonna prep those right now. The curriculum instructional coach here is literally so nice. So I don't ever get like anxious when she's coming in. She's really good at what she does. So I wanna just make sure I'm prepared because she gives like really good feedback.
Good morning.
Hey! Okay, what a chaotic freaking morning. Got here literally 30 minutes ago. Have been spending that whole time on the bracelets and then like prepping for this tier 2 math group today. And then the instructional coach comes in and she's like, I'm so sorry, like I can't come today after all. So it works out. That takes off a lot of the pressure. I have 6 kids that need that tier 2 lesson. I think today I'm just gonna still give it to 3 kids and practice with them, and then she's coming in on Tuesday next week, so I will just give the same lesson again to the other 3 kids. Gotta love the brekkie. The blueberry one is so good. It's my second favorite. And I just went around and asked my teacher friends if anybody had a hot glue gun, because I can't find mine. So I'm just gonna put those bracelets aside so that the kids don't touch them. Bring in either super glue, or somebody told me clear nail polish to like tighten that knot. So now I'm just gonna, what I usually do in the morning is get everything ready. So for math, for example, I need to get out our independent work. Here's our independent work for today. It's literally just 4 questions and the kids can do this by themselves. And then we needed rulers for our math lesson this morning, so I took those out. And then today during social studies, it was gonna be like our last day to work on the bracelets, but since most of them are done, first I just wanna show you all the cute little things that they made out of clay. Like, so cute. This one is a little rainbow. So we have about 25 things made out of clay, and we have about 25 painted rocks, which I'll put in here. Now I'm going to put in our bracelets into this container. We only have 13 finished bracelets, and I'm just putting these to the side. I know the kids are gonna wanna look at them, but I don't feel confident letting them touch them until they've been properly super glued or hot glued. So today I think for that like social studies time, we're just gonna make one final craft, which I'm gonna go onto Art Hub right now. Okay, I just found what they're called. They're called folding surprises. So this will be perfect. At my new school, it's really interesting. You have to like put in on a timesheet for the time that we were off on break. So we didn't have school last week, so I have to go into ADP and like actually put in that I was on school vacation last week, which is so different than what I've ever had to do. So I'm quickly doing that. And then looking at my checklist this morning, I needed to prep that MTSS lesson, which I did, or that tier 2 lesson, and I did that. I need to make some more scratch tickets because my kids are obsessed with these. I get them for Oriental Trading, and I made 10 yesterday and the kids bought them. So they buy these with their tickets that I give them. So like positive reinforcement, they get those tickets. They can cash in 10 tickets in order to get a scratch ticket. And I've just been putting things on here like eraser pet, lap desk, extra Chromebook time, extra snack, like that kind of stuff that doesn't really like require me to do a lot of extra work. So I need to think of a couple more things to put on those today for them and make 10 more.
You do is pull this part open, and that's your surprise right here.
Oh.
So now that we're done,
I just had to watch the video on how to do it. So you start off with a full piece of paper, fold it in half, and then pull this part down, and then they draw it on here, and then draw it on here, it opens up. So I might just make these right now for the kids so that they don't have to do this step. But I think this is a good one. I'll show you what I picked out. This one actually is an Art Hub, but it's a folding rainbow cake pop-up surprise card. So like they all draw the cake on the outside, but then on the inside, they can actually design it however they want. So they make this big long cake. And then in her video, it was showing all these different colored layers of cake and then like drawing cute little things on them, like saying little cute things. I just thought this one would be good. I'm just gonna tell the kids that don't wanna do this that they can read from their book box, because I have a lot of boys that probably aren't gonna wanna do this. It is a 24-minute video though, so here we go.
so cool, hey!
The interrupting dynamic duo came in this morning, so now I only have 15 minutes. So I'm making my little scratch card. So far I've put teacher desk, only one, because only one kid can stay here for the day. I did a couple stuffy at your desk, I did lap desk, and the last 3 I'm just gonna do prize box because they like that one. But I don't have very many of these left. I got this pack from Oriental Trading. Anyways, like I said, I have like literally less than 15 minutes. I put the directed drawing pop-up surprise in my slides, so we'll be good for that. So if you couldn't tell just based off of my conversation thus far, we do math and social studies or science in the morning, and then they have recess, lunch, and then they have specials. Sometimes specials are in the classroom, so that can really throw a wrench in my prep period, but today they have PE. Oh my gosh. I just realized I'm gonna have to pick up my kids from PE today, which is in the activity center across the parking lot, because normally our grade level IA picks them up, but because she's not here today, she's out, I have to go pick them up, so I cannot forget to do that because I almost never have to go get them, which is like a huge plus. I have to pick them up from every other special. It's just that one because the grade level IA goes to PE with them. I also changed my mind about folding these for them because one, my students will totally be able to do this, and if not, I will guide them and help them, but I have 21 students and I don't want to fold 21 of these only to find out that only 10 of them are actually going to do it. So we're just going to let them fold it and I'll keep the model on top. So that will save me some time right now. Normally by Wednesday, I have printed out / filled in my plans for next week. So my plans are like very vague. It's just a little table just showing like what the special is that day, what we're doing in math, what we're doing in history, what we're doing during student support, and then what day, week, and unit we're on in Wonders. It's very bare bones. I just kind of use it to help me make my slides. So I need to finish these up before I can start those. And I have 9 minutes. Okay, with 4 minutes to spare, we're gonna go print off my plans for next week so that those are set for next week. And then we are going to take 4 minutes to get mentally prepared for this Thursday. I don't have any meetings today during prep though, so I'll check in with you guys during prep. Okay, it is lunch. Let me show you first what we have on the docket today. I usually eat my trail mix on the way home from school, if at all. My yogurt parfait that has my Oikos vanilla bean yogurt with my raspberries, and my Kind chocolate granola, 2 cheese sticks from Trader Joe's, and my hard-boiled eggs. So that's what we're eating for lunch today. I'm pretty sure my teacher besties are coming in during my prep because I know that my mentor teacher, her kids have special in her room today, so she can't be in there. So I already know she's coming in, so the other one will probably come in too. The Tres Amigos. We did the foldable surprises. The kids loved doing it. It came out really cute. A lot of them haven't finished, but that's okay. And then I made an impulse decision this morning for what to do this afternoon. This afternoon we were gonna do some grammar and some spelling practice and some writing practice, but I graded our progress monitoring for Unit 5, weeks 3 and 4 this week, and the kids didn't do as well in it as they did the first time around, and I know it was a harder test, so like I expected the score to go down a little bit, but not as much as it did. So we're gonna retake it today, and we're gonna just kind of practice some of the skills beforehand. We just jumped right in, and I just like took it with them, and I didn't really pre-teach anything specifically that was on it. A couple of the vocab words had suffixes like tireless, restless, careful, and I just feel like we haven't reviewed that this week. We reviewed it before break, so I felt like that was unfair to expect them to be able to know what those words meant without reviewing beforehand. So we're going to review suffixes, and then we're going to review point of view. This is something I've actually never had to really teach in first grade, so it was honestly probably like a flop on my end as well. Like that's the thing as a teacher, you have to understand like, okay, when did the kids not listen, or when did the kids just not understand something, and when did I make an error as a teacher? So for suffixes, I just want to remind them what full means and what less means, because a lot of them had that suffix at the end. So I'm gonna make those slides. This is literally all I did. I just found a picture showing that full means full of and less means without, and I just gave a couple examples on the board. I can't give them the actual words that are on the test. I think some of the words were like restless or tireless or careful. So I just tried to find different ones, but I want to give them an idea of what those suffixes mean. And like I said, we did this already in Wonders, but it was right before break, so I feel like they've probably forgotten about it, which is totally valid. All right, again, my slides are very bare bones, and I just don't like to like over glamorize something unless I find something on TPT that's super cute. I just don't over glamorize my slides, especially when I'm doing them the day of and I just need to throw something together. Like obviously I plan all my slides in advance, so I don't have to do this often, but when I realized today when I graded those progress monitorings that we did not perform to the best of our ability, I was like, okay, I need to add this in. If I'm doing it in advance and I have time, I might make it a little bit cuter, like add fun fonts, change the background color, add my Bitmoji, but for this one, like we're just keeping it bare bones because I have to teach this to them in like 2 hours, and ain't nobody got time for that. So for this one, I just said, who is speaking or telling the story? If it says, I love my mom, said Roxy. Who's the person telling in the story? Roxy. Mrs. Walters walked into the room. Good morning, class, she said. Who is speaking there? That's Miss Walters. And then this one is just for a narrator option. When it doesn't tell us who's talking, we just can assume it's a narrator. Again, I've never had to teach point of view before, so I don't know if I'm doing a good job or not. I should probably look in the manual and just make sure if there's anything else I should be using to describe narrator and point of view and all that kind of stuff, but that's what we're going with today. And the other part of the test that was really hard for them is like, what did we learn from the story? And this question was hard, so I think I'm gonna make a slide about that too, because There were a couple questions like that. So talking about two friends that are best friends, they go to school together, but one's upset with the other because they refuse to play with them, so the other one's sad. You can read it if you want to pause. And then this is the kind of question that I'll ask them in the progress monitoring. What did you learn from the story? The only thing that we know in the story after reading it is that how Kayla felt when Max was ignoring her, because it says, this makes Kayla super sad. We don't know the game they were playing yesterday. We don't know what school they went to. We don't know what they did at recess after he forgave her. That's all just like, you would have to use your imagination on that, but it wants to tell if the kids know, okay, what did I learn from this story? And you're probably looking at that example and you're like, Sarah, that one's not tricky. There's only one clear one that works. But sometimes I feel like when kids are like visualizing a story and they're like making a mental movie in their head, like they might have visualized that they were playing tag yesterday or hide and seek or whatever, or fishy fishy. And maybe they didn't hear what school that they went to, but maybe they imagined that those kids go to their school, or they imagined that after they were done apologizing and forgiving each other. Like, I just feel like kids are just so imaginative and creative that they might forget like that those details weren't in the story and that they made those up in their own head themselves, which we teach kids to be visualizers. So it's like, anyway. I genuinely feel like teachers would want to buy this kind of thing on Teachers Pay Teachers, like somebody who knows the progress monitoring for each grade level and then like can make slides that go with what's going to be on the test, because sometimes it's really hard to preview that as a teacher beforehand for every single one. And it's hard to like think of good examples or slides to make in preparation for it. So I might do that. My prep is about to start, so those two teachers are probably about to come in, which is fine, but while I wait for them, I'm going to make my newsletter for May, because by the time we go back to school, it'll be May 1st, after the weekend. And I want to update my slides for tomorrow, because I always make a slide for which kids have not hit their 45 minutes yet for reading and math on iReady, and I have a couple that have not hit it, so I'm going to prep that as well. I don't do that in advance because I obviously don't know until the day before which kids have to finish their minutes. All right, y'all. I was right, and my teacher besties were in my room during prep, so I didn't film because we were chatting and not doing too much work, to be honest. It's hard to work with people that you like, because then it's hard to be productive, but I'm still so grateful that I work with people that I genuinely love and consider friends. Right now, I am grading these Wonders progress monitoring. I think I said in the first part of this video that my kiddos did not do as well on it as I thought, because we reviewed a lot of these skills before break, and then we came back from break, and then I just assessed them on it. And I just felt really guilty about doing that. And I was like, you know what? Like, sometimes it is just their ability, and that's just the score that they get. But sometimes it's my fault for not like setting them up for success. And I say that to them full-heartedly. I'm like, we're gonna retake this because I didn't help you be successful in this. And I think that it went a lot better this time around, so I'm updating the scores. I'm just picking the one that they did better on. A couple of them did worse the second time, but most of them did better or stayed the same, which was encouraging. So like this girl got 100. I'm just so proud of her, because before she got a 55, and that was just like not accurate to what she was able to do. I kind of had a teacher fail this afternoon. I wanted to talk about it with you guys. I feel like on Instagram and TikTok, you guys only see like the teacher wins, teacher successes. And I just wanted to share that like I fail sometimes, and that's okay. So I decided that because I wanted to get these back to the kids, and because I wanted to have them actually see what they got wrong and why and what was the right answer, I decided to have them self-correct them. And so we went over the answers, and they got a pen or a highlighter or a flare pen or whatever, and we check it off if they got it right, X if they got it wrong. And for some of my kids, it was really hard because they're very hard on themselves. And so when they didn't get the score that they wanted, or when they got a couple wrong, they were getting very emotional. So it kind of felt like a teacher fail in the sense that like, I'm not disappointed that I had them do it, because I think it's important to have them see what they got wrong and why, and what the right answer was. But I just wish I had started doing it sooner. I feel like this year with Wonders, I'm a new teacher to this school, and then I'm new to Wonders and new to second grade and new to EL and all those things. So this has been a huge trial and error year for me. I feel like personally, I never had my first graders in the last 3 years of my teaching self-correct their work. But this year with Wonders, I feel like it would be super valuable for them to do that. I just didn't think of it until we're in unit 5 out of 6. So it's like, oh well, put that on the list of things to do differently next year. But I wish that I had had them starting to do this sooner, because I feel like it's valuable for them to see what they got wrong so they can do better on the next one. But I was really disappointed in myself that like I led a few students to get super emotional and hard on themselves and feel down and not have great self-esteem about it, because that was not my intent, obviously. So I felt bad about that. But other than that, I just wanted to share the teacher fail because it felt like this was a good thing that we did. Maybe should have started doing it earlier. Good to reflect and to know that for next year. It is 3:40. I'm not really in a rush to leave today. I just want to like get things cleaned up for tomorrow. I did not finish our newsletter, so I'm going to finish that before I go. And then I did not start my slides, nor did I do our progress reports. And I didn't leave anything for the sub that's coming tomorrow morning. I don't have a sub for the day. I just have somebody in my room from 8:25 to 9:45 because that's when our meeting bleeds over from the morning. So I just feel like really unprepared for tomorrow. And Bobby doesn't usually go home till 6, so I'm not usually in the mindset to encourage people to stay after school, but I just need to be the best teacher I can be tomorrow. Okay, so like I said, all the kids graded their own, but I just wanted to put like the percentage on top just to see what it came out to be, and I wanted to make sure everybody graded it correctly, which they actually did. Super proud of them for like being honest and not trying to change anything and actually like getting the scoring right and paying attention. So our class average went from a 58 to the second time was a 70. So that's a little bit more in like our ballpark. On our unit 4 when we got 76% average, then 74, and now a 70. So we kind of coast there. So that sounded like a little bit closer to what our ability level was versus the 58. I'm just gonna quickly update our monthly newsletter. I technically don't have to send this home to parents, but I wrote it on my checklist, and I shouldn't say that. I technically don't have to have it ready for today or tomorrow, because technically I could send it out on Monday, but I would just rather have it done now because it was on my to-do list. Ow. I'm pretty sure not a lot of parents look at this or give it too much thought, but I am a creature of habit, so I have to share the same stuff every single week. My head is like pounding and I need a snack. I need a snack. Of course, I forgot my apple at home, which is what I normally eat, so it's depressing. Okay, I just did a whole lot of looking for the new reading skills that we're working on in Unit 6, and it turns out that it's mostly the same skills that we're working on in Unit 5, which is like summarizing, sequencing events, point of view, all that jazz. So I have that downloaded now so that I can just send that off to the parents. I don't know about anybody else, but my kids hate to cut and glue. Maybe it's because they're just so over it because they've already been in kindergarten and first, like I get it. But I had like a cut and glue, like soft C, hard C, soft G, hard G. And so many of them would just rather write it and cross it out. Anti-cutters and pasters in this class. And it's at a different level than I've ever experienced before. Below, you will see the May newsletter attached. Please let me know if you have any questions. Thank you, Sarah. Okay, I feel good checking that off before tomorrow. That leaves me just tomorrow to finish my progress reports. I have 13 to write, but they are very quick. I will say the progress reports that I used to do at my old school took a lot longer. So I could honestly do these 13 at my house tonight probably while hanging out with my husband, and that might just be my plan. And then I have to just finish my slides. And by finish my slides, I mean start and finish my slides. But it is 3:58, so we're gonna hightail it out of here because we've already stayed 28 minutes longer than we wanted to. I also just realized my phone is at 4%. I don't know what happened that we drained our battery like that today, but it must be from all the vlogging. And I filmed a couple videos today with my 2 teacher besties, so it must be that. But thank you so much for watching a teacher day in the life as a teacher who came back from spring break last week and is feeling slammed with things to do. Hopefully this was realistic. I know I don't always show the most interesting and exciting things during my days, but this is really just teacher life from 7 to 4. So thank you for being here. I love you. Feel free to like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll catch you guys on the next one.